Hey everybody, it's December now, so it's time to dig into some of the Christmas movies. Of course, for this first one, I recommend you get out several boxes of Kleenex. The 1957 movie All Mine to Give, starring Glynis Johns and Cameron Mitchell. Now, in this movie, we find Robert Unson, as played by Cameron Mitchell, and his wife Mamie, as played by Glynis Johns, arriving in America, planning to stay in the town of Eureka, Wisconsin, with Mamie's uncle. They arrive there only to find that her uncle perished in a fire, along with his house. They decide to stay, but with Mamie pregnant, Robert starts working on trying to rebuild the house. Everybody from town decides to pitch in and help, which allows the house to be finished sooner. After she delivers their firstborn, Robbie, Father Robert goes to work in a logging camp. Over time, she gives birth to 2 more sons and 3 more daughters. Now, at this point, I really don't say much more about the plot. As I said at the start, I very much recommend a good supply of Kleenex for this one. The first time I saw this movie, I had a very hard time with the last half hour. At least I think that's how long it was. Mostly because I spent most of that time crying. And I tried to pause it for a few minutes, hoping to give myself time to dry up and stop. But when I tried to resume the movie, the crying resumed too, yeah. But I can't really say why without spoiling the movie, so you'll have to watch it and see. And of course, this is the part of the movie that takes place at Christmas time, too, at the tail end, so. One thing I should say, I would recommend parents of children not watch it with their kids, as the subject matter may bother them. Of course, it's still your own choice. I just recommend watching it without them first before you make your decision of whether they can watch it too. Nothing should be overtly wrong. I just worry about whether it would traumatize them, that's all. But there are some things worth noting here about this movie. I don't know how many recognize actress Glynis Johns by name, assuming I'm even pronouncing it correctly, but I can guarantee most have seen her as suffragette Mrs. Banks in the Walt Disney movie Mary Poppins, made nearly 7 years later. Speaking of that movie, one of her co-stars from that movie, Rita Shaw, who played Mrs. Brill the cook in Mary Poppins, appears here as Mrs. Runyon, one of the town's richest residents, and a rather arrogant pain in the rear too, so quite frankly I think it's easy to enjoy seeing the various members of the Unson family telling her off. And keep an eye out, too, for Alan Hale Jr., best known for playing the skipper on the classic sitcom Gilligan's Island. In this movie, he plays Tom Cullen, the head of the logging camp that Robert works at. This is a movie that I very much recommend if you get the chance to see it. I would definitely say don't go into it without a good supply of Kleenex. I know I keep saying this, but with this movie, it is very much a good idea. Now, this movie is available on DVD from Warner Archive Collection and is about 1 hour and 42 minutes in length. That should be all for now, so thanks for listening, everybody, and keep tuning in.